Over 400 Iraqi children just received First Communion. Time magazine just featured the Pope on its cover. The world's highest IQ holder professes that he is a Christian. All this and more brought to you today by Church Headlines. Hello and welcome to Church Headlines, your regular Catholic news recap. I'm Brother Darius Lawrence, and as you can see, I'm no longer in our studio. I'm currently spending 2 months in the Holy Land, so I'm sorry if the video or audio quality suffers a little bit. But I'm happy to have you here for our next episode. Let's dive right in. Did you know that there's an official shopping center in the Vatican City State for Vatican employees? The Vatican has just officially reopened the Annona Shopping Center in Vatican City State after extensive renovations, bringing a sleek, modern design to this long-standing service for Vatican employees. The store is located inside of Vatican City, and the center offers high-quality Italian products and other goods at a discounted price. It's basically like any other grocery store, but since Vatican City is not part of Italy, but is its own country, Italian taxes don't apply. Actually, in fact, some members of my community sometimes go there to go shopping for the house in order to take advantage of the lower prices and no taxes. It's another case of one of the few material benefits that comes with helping the Pope with his spiritual mission. In a powerful celebration of hope, more than 400 children just celebrated their First Communion in the Catholic Archeparchy of Mosul, Iraq. This is not just a beautiful celebration. Really, anywhere 400 children receiving First Communion is a beautiful thing. But here it's a sign of their incredible resilience and strength. This just happened in a region that is still recovering from the devastation of ISIS. In the Diocese of Karakosh, after Islamic State arrived, many of the Christians were forced to leave their homes and possessions in order to be able to continue to live their faith. But since the defeat of ISIS in 2017, many are coming back in order to rebuild their homes and churches. Here's something you might not know. Every day, more than 100 kilos of letters arrive to Pope Leo XIV. Yes, you heard that correct. 100 kilos, or more or less 220 pounds. The letters come from all over the world. Some are handwritten by children, others come from prisoners, politicians, or the poor. And they often don't have a postal code or an address. They simply say, "To His Holiness the Pope." And thankfully, both the Italian mail service and the Vatican are able to make it arrive to its destination. I guess when we're talking about the Pope, knowing the exact street number isn't quite as important. And this mountain of mail represents something beautiful. It's a window into the hopes and worries and joys of everyone throughout the world. It's of course impossible for the Pope to read all these different letters individually, but it's still a beautiful symbol of the hope that Christians throughout the world place in his spiritual leadership. Hey, if you haven't already done so, I'd like to ask you to please hit the subscribe button and the like button. It's a great thing to help the algorithm push this content out to more people, and it helps make sure that you'll stay up to date with the Catholic world. Taybeh, the last fully Christian town in the West Bank, Palestine, is facing increasing pressure from expanding Israeli settlements. Many of the Christians' olive groves have been razed, and some of their homes have been ransacked as well. Armed Israeli settlers have started to encroach deeper and deeper into their property, squatting on their land or stopping local Christian farmers from reaching their farmland for the harvest. With no means to defend themselves, since the Palestinians are not able to bear arms, and since there's little or no legal protection from the local government, the Christians there are starting to have to face the reality that they may no longer be able to remain in the land that they've called home for many generations. The Latin Catholic Patriarch, Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzavalla, and the Greek Orthodox Patriarch, Theophilus III, recently visited the town together with other diplomats from around 20 countries in order to put international pressure on the local government to intervene by holding the settlers accountable for their illegal actions. Notre Dame Cathedral is getting record-breaking numbers of visitors only 7 months after it was opened in December 2024. As you might remember, the church suffered a terrible fire in 2019 and has been in renovation ever since. An average of 35,000 people are visiting the cathedral every day, and if these numbers continue, it will become the most visited monument in all of France, even beating the Eiffel Tower. While the cathedral has already been reopened, actually a lot of restoration work still remains to be done. They're still working on the restoration of the flying buttresses, and the sacristy will have to be renovated as well. The full restoration won't be done until 2027, but in the meantime, the church has once again become a place of prayer, beauty, liturgical life, and culture. Pope Leo XIV is on the cover of Time magazine. The Pope and his family was featured on the latest cover of Time magazine, which includes an in-depth profile of his journey from a small Midwestern town to the chair of St. Peter's. The cover story is titled The Making of the Pope, and it looks at the Pope's roots, going all the way back to his childhood in a deeply Catholic family in Chicago's Southwest Side. The picture it paints isn't one of a man who rose to the papacy through theatrics or ambition, but of a man whose life was marked by faith, humility, determination, and grit. The man officially recognized as having the highest IQ in the world has publicly professed his Christian faith. His name is Jung-Hoon Kim, and he believes that quantum physics, or the mystery of human consciousness, both point to the divine and the survival of the soul after death. Citing the idea of quantum entanglement, Kim proposes that our human consciousness may actually be entangled with the higher dimension that goes beyond physical reality. Such arguments go beyond the realm of physics, of course, but Kim's example shows that one can be a man of both science and intellect, as well as of faith. Kim himself insists that he didn't arrive at his faith in spite of his intellect or his love of science, but actually because of it. This, of course, rings true with Catholic tradition, which has always taught that any truth, whether it be scientific or philosophical, ultimately comes from and leads to the one truth, Jesus Christ. And that wraps up this week's edition of Church Headlines. Thank you for joining us as we keep you up to date with the Catholic world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, God bless.